blood, I said the word intrinsic. I mean, look at your notes. I said you need to consume vitamin B12, and you need intrinsic factors to hook up to them to take them in order to make that. Those intrinsic factors that we said way before are made by parietal cells. That was a question on the exam.
So
it was
parietal
so
cells
crazy.
make
Yep.
GIF.
Also secrete GIF. Again, we don't have intrinsic factors, right? You're going to be anemic. What is it called? Pernicious anemia.
If you don't
If you don't have intrinsic factors. And again, you see how this could be a question on the exam, and everybody's going to miss it, but you're not.
Wait, no GIF equals anemia?
Exactly. No GIF means what? Means we cannot carry that vitamin B12 in order to make red blood cells. See how that works? Again, I hold her hand and I take her where she needs to go. She functions well when she's at home. If I don't grab her and take her home, she can't make me dinner or something. Again, I'm gonna keep adding food and hoping somebody gives me food. She's like shaking her head. Why are you shaking your head?
I'm laughing.
Okay, good. Are we good? Again, I almost missed this, but again, attach it back to something. Parietal cells are doing this. Right?
Parietal cells
Hydrochloric acid, yeah, blah, blah, blah. But they're also doing GIF. GIF. Again, and they also activate pepsinogen but for the chief cells. Cool?
GIF also does that?
No, parietal cells.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Parietal cells is a dad. Dad does a few different things.
No, we already have that, remember?
Yeah, well, I know.
In the other...
Back in the day.
We already have that.
Oh, we already have dad as being the small intestine. Oh, he's the chief cell. It's just everywhere.
Remember that next time.
Okay, when we look at the slide, this is the lumen of the stomach. This is what? The basal side, the basal membrane. And I think of lumen as being something, and I think of the basal as doing something. So you know what I do? I put a line. That's how I make stuff easier for myself. I don't want to think of it as a whole entity. Do think of it as a whole entity, but divide it in half, right? So that way you're saying to yourself, there's a basal and there's an apical side. What did I say to you before? I said to you, look at this, look how cool this is. CO2 comes in from the top left. You have carbonic anhydrase, right? If you have high CO2,
Already in the cell?
yep, right.
Okay.
In the parietal cells, we have carbonic anhydrase. We could run the bicarbonate buffer system. That's crazy as shit. Look at that. CO2 comes in. If we have high CO2, what do we always high of? We have high proton. Remember? High CO2 has high proton. Guess what happens? Proton leaves. What follows proton? Chloride. Guess what we have now?
Make HCl.
Hydrochloric acid. See how cool that is? Let's look at what happens though. Carbonic anhydrase, if we look on the right, what is it going to make?
What do you mean?
What's H2CO3? What is that?
No, carbon. I don't know what that is. I didn't hear the question.
What is the H2CO3? It's oh my gosh.
So we talked about
It's carbonic acid. Is it carbonic acid? What is that?
carbonic acid. Because look what happens. CO2 comes in, hooks up with water, right? What's made? HCO3. Which breaks into what? HCO3 and proton. Proton gets shot at the lumen. What's left? HCO3. Guess what happens to the HCO3? It comes out on the basal side, and guess what comes in? Chloride. Exactly. Where did we see this happening?
In the blood.
In the blood. Do you guys remember this? It was a question on the exam.
So it's gonna be
When
on the
chloride
basal
comes in, when chloride comes in, are you in the blood or in the lungs? And it's supposed to be blood. When this comes in, guess what we call that? This little process, we call it an alkaline tide. Cool? Alkaline tide only happens with parietal cells. And we just look at how it happens. You see how it happens? You see how it all looks so crazy, but it's so easy? So alkalinity is happening with parietal cells with access of what? Bicarbonate ion. Cool?
So when you were saying like when the CO2 comes in and with carbonic anhydrase, it
What is it going to make? CO2 hooks up with water.
makes carbonic acid.
Okay.
Proton leaves
Yes.
Chloride.
On what side?
on the apical side.
On the apical side, what follows it?
Chloride.
Which makes
Would be the hydrochloric acid.
hydrochloric acid. What's the other portion of the right, the buffer system, the right portion? We talked about proton. What's left? Bicarbonate ion, right?
Right.
What happens to the bicarbonate ion?
The alkaline tide.
Leaves where? On what side?
The basal side.
What comes in?
Chloride.
Chloride. Look how cool chloride is, you guys. Chloride comes in and it shoots all the way out. It comes in from the bottom and it shoots out. Right? What's really helping this guy come out is right here. See how cool that is?
Okay, so
Very cool.
then
Again, parietal cells in the stomach. Chief cells. Next slide, 1529. Secrete pepsinogen, gastric lipase, and rennin. Okay. Lingual lipase is tongue. Gastric lipase is chief cells. Cool? See? So we just think of fat, lingual lipase, and gastric. Again, the big one is obviously Pepsi. Hydrochloric acid converts pepsinogen to pepsin, and pepsin is a pyrolytic enzyme.
He said to cross it out and not say that pepsinogen converts pepsinogen to pepsin.
What did he say?
He said that's wrong. Just take it out and
yeah.
say that it's pepsinogen that converts.
It said that in the presence of HCl it does it by itself.
It only has to be in the presence of it, that it's not HCl that converts it. It's pepsinogen that converts
It just needs to be there.
It just needs to be there, but
He said what's actually making it like change conformation is the pepsinogen.
you remember because how I said it? What ends up happening, it cleaves itself. So obviously the pepsinogen is doing it. It needs to be active, but it just happens that when hydrochloric acid is there, that progress happens, it's the same thing as you saying type 2 diabetes is hooked up. When you have high type 2 diabetes, what do you also have high of? Resistant, right? The same thing. It's a correlation. So usually when you see hydrochloric acid pumped out, what do you also see? You see that conversion. Cool? Is this the first place of the GI tract where we digest polypeptides?
Sure.
No, not sure. I want an answer.
is it the first place?
Right down. Yeah, well, yes, it's in yours.
Mouth, so
Yes, the answer is yes.
What am I? Where am I right now?
In the
Yes.
stomach.
I'm in the stomach.
Yeah.
I said to you polypeptides. What are polypeptides? Poly means what? A lot.
Yeah.
What's a peptide? Protein.
protein.
She said fat. That's why I wanted to bring it
Oh
up.
my God.
Yeah, it's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Yeah, I didn't even think you even knew it came out of your mouth.
Yes.
Polypeptide, many protein.
Yes.
So my question is, I repeat my question. Is this the first place in the GI tract?
Yes.
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 See, I said yes, but
But you said it.
You
You
said
said it
fats,
wrong.
yeah.
So I wanted to make sure you got that. Cool. Gastric lipase pH optimum is of 2. And again, lingual lipases will work there too, so it's not a big deal. But again, you need bile to do all this good stuff. So we do not secrete bile in the mouth or the stomach, right? And to break down fat, what do you need?
You need bile, a lipase, and a cholinase.
Good job. You're a beast.
For which one?